into your comfortable child's pose. We're going to be here for about 10 breaths. So, whatever that looks like for you, making sure that you have comfort in your hips, comfort in your low back, your low spine. Sometimes that means not taking your knees quite as wide, but toes come to touch, knees enter towards wide. Whatever feels right for you today, for you now. And then just let your forearms, your fingertips, and that third eye center, that space right between your eyebrows, get nice and heavy, nice and connected with the earth. And allow yourself to begin to take that gaze internal. If your eyes aren't closed already, go ahead and let them soften or maybe even venture towards closed. And just let yourself begin to feel that breath entering in like a wave and then exiting slower and deeper than your inhale. Taking at least 5 more big, deep breaths. With the challenge of every single inhale, let it be a beat longer than the previous inhale. And every single exhale, let it be a beat longer than that inhale. The goal at the end is to be about at a 4 to 6, 4 count inhale, 6 count exhale. Just giving us time to arrive here on our mat in this shape, in this position here today, and allowing yourself to find the connection with that breath and body. The intention that I am inviting you to work with this evening and today is that we are at a different point every single day and in a different shape, a different body every single day. And just knowing the power of where we are right here and right now. Maybe we have an old injury that's been coming up, or we're sore from a really awesome workout, or just excited to breathe and move tonight, and everything and anything in between. All of that is beautiful. And so just meeting our body where we are, meeting our shape where we are tonight is what my intention is, and what my invitation is for you, is to just be okay with who you are right here, right now. Be okay and pleased and ecstatic and overjoyed with this body that is allowing us to move on our mats tonight, and allowing some of that introspection into where our shape is and where our body is. One more big breath here in this child's pose, and also invitation to take whatever intention is calling to you tonight, breathing and moving for whatever is going to help serve you. This inhale, breathe all the way down into your seat bones. And then as you exhale, let it go. On your next inhale breath, bring some energy, bring some life back into those fingertips. Gently pressing into those fingertips just enough to lift your head an inch off the mat. And then as you exhale, we're going to walk it over towards the left-hand side. Left palm down to the mat, right hand comes to press on top of it. So I think a lot of you have been in my class before, and many of you have opened up this way for me. You know this means we're going to find a little bit of shoulder love tonight. We're going to find some nice, big, long side bodies. This is the feeling I'm wanting you guys to entertain right here and right now. It's not so much the stretch, even though that is beautiful and such a great opportunity, but feel that extension on the right side body. Feel that nice, big, beautiful, deep inhale. And that exhale just allows that hip to sink back a little bit further while our side body gets a little bit longer as well. Feel that big expansion. Send some love here. And we're going to find this throughout class tonight. So just taking a moment to feel the support while we feel the extension. On your next inhale, you're going to come back through midline, gently walking it, and then keep it going all the way over towards that right-hand side. Right palm presses down into the earth. Left hand comes to press on top of that. And then find that same sensation of extension. Find that same opportunity here to breathe into that side body. More than anything, enjoying the stretch, but allowing yourself to find that nice expansion, to feel the length that we are creating in our side bodies here. and permission to maybe go a little bit deeper, find a little bit more in this support, in this opportunity, because we are on the ground. We're not having to balance. One more big breath into this left side body, feeling that big, beautiful extension, that space, that creation on the left side. And then go to your depth. Send that left seat bone back a little bit further on your exhale. Next inhale breath, gently come back through midline and then press it up into a tabletop position. Knees come underneath hips, hands directly underneath shoulders, and then feeling those side bodies nice and elongated, nice and extended here. Both side bodies in equal sensation. And then on an inhale breath, we're going to let our right hand float up towards the sky, finding a nice little gentle twist. So shoulder love, now we've got some spine love going on here. And then on an exhale breath, gently let that right hand sweep underneath the left all the way until your shoulder comes down to the mat. You can let that ear, that side of your face, come to rest on the mat. And then with your left hand, you can keep it nice and elevated, nice and supported here, especially if we are messing with balance, if this is a little bit much for your balance. Option number 2 is to walk that left hand forward. Again, this theme of expansion and extension through that left side body, or if that extension and extension through the spine is calling to you, find that nice, beautiful half bind by allowing that left hand to come back behind, clasping towards that right thigh. Wherever you are, we've got 2 more big, deep breaths. Breathing into the point of sensation, expanding through that left side body, feeling the love here, finding this opportunity to find your breath and arrive on the mat. Just checking out where we are here, checking out our shoulders, our spine, our torso. On your inhale breath, release the bind or walk that hand back underneath that left shoulder, gently pressing up into that left hand. Let that right hand fly high. Find some nice, beautiful flamingo fingers, rotating through the wrist, extending through every single finger, really allowing yourself to arrive here. Exhale, come back down to the mat. Moving into second side, realign, knees directly underneath hips, hands directly underneath shoulders. Inhale breath, let that left hand high, fly, reach it up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, left hand comes underneath right and allowing that forearm, that upper shoulder to rest onto the mat. Options here for that right arm. Find the same variation you did on the opposite side. So again, you can keep that support here with your hand just gently resting on the mat. You can tiptoe it forward, walk it forward, feeling that expansion from pinky all the way through seat bone. Or if you did so on the other side, breathe it high and then finding that opportunity for half bind. Breathing into our side bodies, breathing into shoulders. Finding this opportunity here. Again, we're supported by the earth, so we can maybe find a little bit more depth, find our breath, allow our mind to find the escape here. 2 more big breaths on this side, breathing into wherever you feel sensation. Maybe it's shoulders, maybe it's side body, maybe it's in that outer hip, wherever it is. Last big breath. Let that exhale soften. Next inhale breath, gently release that bind or walk that hand back underneath shoulder. Press up into that right hand. Let that left hand fly. Find those nice flamingo fingertips, especially those of us who are on phones or computers all day. This should feel really good. Gently let it come back through neutral tabletop. And now my favorite part of class. Find a little bit of splashy movement. Maybe wagging that hip side to side. Maybe dipping those shoulders, rotating through that spine, finding some wave with your breath. Organic movement, whatever it is that your body needs, whatever it is that your shape needs. Maybe even find a shape you've never made in your life before. Once you feel balanced, letting those hands come directly underneath shoulders. Inhale, breath, step it back, finding our first official plank pose of the evening. Feeling the power here, feeling that control. Here's your opportunity. If plank isn't where you are tonight, if this doesn't feel great, just drop down to knees. We're still getting that engagement through our core. We're still getting that engagement through our quads. Wherever you are, though, find one big, deep, beautiful breath, feeling that one line of energy. And then as you exhale, make your way to belly, letting those elbows graze those ribs, keeping everything in towards south. And once you're there, let the tops of your toes press down into the earth. Engage those quads, feel the strength, knees lift up and off the earth. No weight in hands this first round. Inhale, just gently find the strength in that low spine. Gaze is reaching forward. Exhale, gently release. We've got 20% of our weight in our hands this time. Inhale, gently pressing up, going from baby cobra to medium cobra. Exhale, let it release. Inhale, press it up, 40% of your weight in your hands, high cobra. Exhale, release. Next inhale breath, traveling through those knees or through plank. Let those hips travel high and back, downward facing dog. Second opportunity for some flashy movements, pedaling through those feet, finding a waggle in your tail, rotation through that spine, maybe even rolling back and forward, whatever it is you need. I will admit that I am one lucky person and I was able to get my first vaccination this Sunday. So my arm is a little sore, so these flashy movements are feeling really good. And perhaps we'll see them throughout class tonight. I might have planned class around finding some of that release. Now let's find some stillness. On your inhale breath, let those hips elevate. No big movements here, finding the shape through our breath, not necessarily through body movements. As you exhale, find a little bit more depth here. We're going to warm up our body by finding some dancing movements here, finding a little mini flow to open up class. On your inhale breath, let that right leg flow towards the sky. Reach it tall, really reach up through those toes. And then as you exhale, pull that knee into belly, knee into chest. Look at that space right in between your thumbs. Gently step it through. Let that back heel get heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and open. As you exhale, land in your warrior two. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. Reach up, feel those side bodies extend, just like we did in child's pose. Exhale, reach those fingertips forward. Drop those hands to 6, reach them up towards 12. One breath here. Inhale, let those bottom ribs knit forward, top ribs knit up and open. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, let that top hand pull you all the way up and tall. Toes reach out towards opposite corners of the room. Exhale, sit it low. Dropping those hands down to those knees. Dance it out a little bit. Shimmy side to side. Surf it out. Whatever movement you need. And then once you're ready, inhale. Press into those sides. Reach that crown tall. Exhale. Drop that right shoulder to left knee. Head gets heavy even. Bringing the whole spine in here. Inhale. Press it up through midline. Exhale. Left shoulder to right knee. Inhale, come up through mid. Exhale, left shoulder, right knee. One more time. Inhale, come up through mid. Exhale, drop that left shoulder to right. Inhale, come up through mid. Hands come to center. Sit it low, horse pose. Inhale, reverse swan dive it high, all the way up into our 5-pointed star. Exhale, cartwheel it towards the top of your mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. Exhale, with control, through knees or through plank, all the way to belly, slow as you can go. Engage your legs, press in with your toes, low back, mid cobra. Inhale, breath, reach it tall. Exhale, release. Inhale, Press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back. Downward facing dog. Big reset breath here. Inhale those hips high. Exhale, melt that heart. Moving into that dance on our second side. Inhale, let those left toes reach towards the sky. Exhale, pull that knee into belly, into chest. Look at that space right between those thumbs. Gently step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and around. Land in your warrior two. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. And then as you exhale, surf it out. Reach it forward. Let those hands drop to 6. Reach them up towards 12. One breath here. Inhale, find that expansion through the side bodies. As you exhale, gently find that twist. Inhale, let that top hand pull you tall. Little variation coming up here. Toes reach out. Exhale, sit it low into that horse pose. We're going to surf it out like that. Inhale, reach it tall, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sit it low, horse pose. Yes. One more. Inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, sit it low, horse pose. Stay here for a breath. Inhale, energetically reach that crown taller. Feel like a ribbon is pulling you high. And then exhale, find that depth. Yeah. Inhale, reverse swan dive it high. Reach it towards the sky, 5-pointed star. Exhale, cartwheel it towards the top of your mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. Exhale with control through knees or through plank. Elbows graze those ribs. Tops of the toes to the mat. Inhale, 20% of the weight in your hands, medium cobra. Press it high. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press it up through that plank or tabletop. Hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Feeling the breath here. We've got 3 to 5 breaths. Try and make them the biggest, slowest, most satisfying breaths of the day. Maybe even shake your head yes, shake your head no. Let that head feel nice and heavy, nice and connected with the spine, feeling that length all the way from those pinky fingers through the side bodies as your hips breathe higher towards the sky. And then exhale, let that heart reach towards those thighs. Finding that connection, that side body extension. That's going to come into play here with this core work. We've got some nice, beautiful opportunities to flow with breath, but finding what it is that you need. If the flow isn't calling to you, if you need stillness, find the posture where you can feel that expansion through the side body. I'll cue you through it. Big inhale breath, let those hips reach tall. As you exhale, roll that spine like a wave, roll it forward all the way into that plank pose. You can stay here if you need the strength, if this feels good. If not, right hand stays heavy, left hand flies to the sky. Side plank, we're only here for a breath. Exhale, hands come back down to midline plank pose. Inhale, use your core, pull those hips high and back into down dog. Inhale, breath here. Ride your exhale like a wave. Let that spine roll it through into your plank pose. Left hand stays heavy. Inhale, side plank, right hand flies high. Big inhale breath, feel the power. Exhale, come back through mid. Inhale, pull those hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Use your exhale to release through whatever judgment. Inhale, breath, bring it in. Exhale, roll it forward. Find your way into that plank pose. Opportunity to stop at any point. Finding your side plank. Inhale, that left hand high. Staying in strong, stable plank is option. Or go back into that child's pose. Inhale, pull those hips high and back. Downward facing dog if you're dancing with me, if you're flowing. Big inhale breath, cultivate the energy. Exhale, roll it forward. Left hand stays heavy, right hand flies. Finding your side plank. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, hips reach high and back. We got one more each side. Try and join me for this last round. If you're taking variations, try and dance it out. Try and breathe. maybe test where your limits are. Maybe they're a little bit further than you can go. On your exhale breath, roll it forward, plank pose. Inhale, right hand flies high. Exhale, release. Use that core, pull that belly up and in. Inhale into that down dog. Stay for your exhale. Inhale, find that energy. Use your exhale, roll it forward into your plank pose. Left hand stays heavy. Inhale, right hand flies. Exhale, come back through plank. Little change coming up here. Drop down to those knees. Keep those knees close together. Press them back into a closed knees child's pose. Just like we did in opening, a little variation on our legs though. Let your head hang heavy. If it's not touching the mat, just let it feel like a nice ripe piece of fruit hanging between your shoulders, feeling that release in your shoulders, that release in our side bodies. This should feel like a lot of elongation, a lot of extension from those hips up through those side bodies, those intercostal muscles, the muscles between our ribs, into those delts, those triceps, all the way through our forearms, into our fingers. One more big breath here. Use your exhale. Let go of whatever judgment, whatever we're bringing forward into the rest of the class. Just let yourself find and meet where you are right here, right now, and find the beauty in it. We are powerful beings. On your next inhale breath, gently roll it forward into your tabletop, readjusting those knees and hands, finding some splashy movements if you need to, maybe cartwheeling out through those wrists, allowing yourself to find whatever shape you need. And then once you're ready, roll over those toes, let those hips reach high and back, downward facing dog. Big re-energizing, recultivating breath here, bringing back in that power, back into the space, using that exhale to share it with the universe. All these shapes we're moving through for the rest of the class are familiar somewhat. And so just allow your body to find that memory, to find the shape and find the power, and give yourself permission to find variations if you need to. On your inhale breath, let that right leg reach tall towards the sky. Take your time here. Really fill up. Feel that breath going all the way into those toes. And then as you exhale, pull that knee into belly. Slow as you can go into chest. Pull that belly up and in. Gently step it through right in between those hands. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale. Cartwheel it up and open. Use that exhale. Landing in our warrior two. Now we did start off here in our little dance to begin. So let's find the power. Let's find the stability here. Rather than moving with our breath to movement through shapes, move through our breath to movement in our body here. Finding the power as we're holding on here. You're pressing, pulling, feeling that stability in our low body. And then finding that depth as we go a little bit deeper. We inhale, crown reaches tall, and feeling that expansion through our side bodies. As you exhale, find that depth in that front knee, but not losing that in our side bodies. We're staying nice and lifted. One more big breath here. Feel the expansion. You're reaching out through every limb, including your head reaching tall, and feeling the stability on your exhale. Inhale breath. Straighten through that front leg. Because we're here for a little bit longer, you might want to heel toe that back foot in a little bit, giving those hips a little bit more room, reaching out through those fingertips. As you exhale, take your time, really reaching forward, feeling that expansion through our side bodies. We're staying nice and lifted. We're not curling into this right side. We feel that side body nice and engaged. And then we allow our hands to tick-tock to that 6 and 12. Keep a micro bend in that front knee. Here's an opportunity for that prop. If you would like to take that jar, that yoga block, whatever you have underneath that right hand, that gives those side bodies a little bit more opportunity to stay nice and lifted. So pressing down into that block, reaching up through that left hand, finding that crown, reaching forward. That ribbon is still pulling our crown forward. That ribbon is pulling our left hand high. And then we feel those side bodies nice and lifted. One more big breath here. Use that exhale. Maybe find a little bit of a baby back bend. Gently letting your heart open up. Inhale, move that prop out of the way. Reach it up and tall. Let those toes reach out towards opposite corners. And then once you're ready, exhale, sit it low. We've surfed it out. We've found these shapes. So where your body is here and now. Maybe you're not as low as you typically would be or like to go. Beautiful, perfect. Maybe you're really feeling it. You're in the groove and you can let that seat really sink down low. But listen to your true self. Listen to where you really are. Don't be scared of maybe trying the limit, trying that depth, finding where you are, checking that our toes and our knees are in the same line, finding our breath here. In this stillness, in this power, this stability, we're here for 3. Last 2. Sit it lower maybe for 1. Inhale, let those fingertips reach high, 5-pointed star. Let those toes come in towards mid, almost pigeon-toed while heels reach out. And then as you exhale, swan dive it. Find your forward fold. Prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. We're gonna breathe it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Let that ribbon pull that crown nice and long. Feel that space in our side bodies, that nice elongation. Keep that lift, keep that nice space as you exhale. Let that head get nice and heavy, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, find your Prasarita. Inhale, halfway lift. Last one here, go to that depth. Don't be scared of what your body is capable of. Releasing through those hamstrings, through the back sides of our body, keeping that lift in those side bodies. Maybe your crown comes closer to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Engage through that core, reverse swan dive it high, all the way up into our 5-pointed star. Keeping those left toes in, let those right toes point out, and then sit it low back into our warrior 2. Feels powerful, feels nice and strong here. We're gonna stay low in our front leg this time. Big inhale breath. And then as you exhale, reach it forward, just like we did during triangle. And then let that elbow come to the inside of your legs, maybe inside of your ribs too. But yeah, keeping that nice connection. Elbow presses into leg, leg presses into elbow. Opportunity for that prop, that jar, those blocks, whatever you have underneath that right palm. And this again just helps those side bodies stay nice and elongated while we're asking for a little bit more power with our legs. Big inhale breath, reaching that left hand high. Maybe find that little twist. Stay low in that right leg. Feeling the control here. Big inhale breath. Find that little twist. Inhale, that top hand pulls you tall, straighten through that front leg. Reverse triangle. Exhale, cartwheel it towards the top of your mat. Pop that back heel up. Inhale, step it back. Plank pose. Exhale with control through your plank or tabletop. Make your way all the way to belly. Yogi's choice here, low, medium, or high cobra. Inhale breath, 0, 20, or 40% of the weight in your hands, whatever you need. Exhale, release. Inhale, press it up through that plank or tabletop. Hips lift high and back, downward facing dog. 3 big breaths here. Inhale those hips high. Exhale, heart melts. Inhale that big, sweet, beautiful breath into this beautiful, sweet body. Exhale, find that ability, that elongation, the shape you are creating. One more big breath here into your intention, your space, what it is you need. Let that exhale, share it with your universe. Moving into our second side. Inhale, that left leg breathes tall and long. Really reach it tall. Full inhale breath all the way up into those toes. And then use your time, use your control, bringing that knee through midline, looking at that space right between your thumbs, and then gently stepping it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and open. Exhale, land in that warrior two. Using our breath to connect with our body by finding the power, not so much the movement here. You can feel the breath moving, those little micro adjustments in your shape as you inhale, reaching everything away from each other, exhaling into that power, feeling that strength. Inhale, create that elongation through those side bodies, feeling those muscles get longer and leaner. And then as you exhale, feeling those muscles get nice and strong and powerful. One more big breath here into this perfect shape, this perfect space, whatever it is you need. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. If you did so on the other side, heel toe that back foot in about a foot width distance. And then as you exhale, gently allow yourself to reach forward, finding that prop if you need it, if you used it on the opposite side. And then as you exhale, tuck those hands to 6 and 12. I love using props during my classes, not because not because you need them necessarily, not because you're not good enough or yoga isn't easy. I actually think it helps find the depth in the class, find that little bit more opportunity. This allows those side bodies to stay nice and long rather than collapsing in, reaching for the ground. You have this extra 6 inches to allow your space, to allow your body to be in this perfect shape, whatever it is for you. And that said, too, if you don't have the prop and you're holding it in space, that's beautiful strength as well. But wherever you are, finding that one more big breath, pressing into that space, pressing into that prop as you exhale, little baby back bend. Inhale, gently move that prop out of the way. Top hand pulls you up and open. Feet reach out into opposite corners. Exhale, sit it low. Go right to that limit, right to that point with horse pose. Opportunity to stay here. If this feels good, surfing it out a little bit is what is calling for, your body is calling for. Otherwise, let's have some fun. Let's test our limits. Let's see what our abilities really are. Inhale, breath. Right heel lifts tall towards the sky. Really pressing into those toes. Reach it tall. Sit it low. Keeping those legs parallel with the earth, knees in line with those toes. One more big breath here. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Swap it out with the left. Right heel goes low. Inhale that left heel high. Don't lose your depth. Don't lose that focus. Staying here. One more big breath. Crown reaches tall. Maybe find a little bit more depth. Here comes the true test, the power, the ability, or not, wherever you are tonight. Inhale, both heels lift towards the sky. Hands at heart center, finding that balance, feeling that core engaged to keep us nice and stable. We're here for 3. Feel the burn for 2. A little bit of shake for 1. Drop those heels. Inhale, reach those hands tall, 5-pointed start. Ooh, feels good. Back heel, that left heel points out, right heel points out, left knee bends into our warrior 2. Big inhale breath. As you exhale, reach it forward, reach. Opportunity to find that prop or pressing elbow into knee, whatever is available for you. And then really reaching those right hands nice and tall, finding that nice little twist. Big inhale breath, staying nice and elongated through our side bodies. As you exhale, find something to let go of, something to soften into. One more big breath. Yes. Inhale, that top hand pulls you all the way up and around. Straight front knee, reverse triangle. Exhale, cartwheel it down towards the top of your mat. Pop that back heel up. Inhale, step it back. Plank pose. Exhale, with control. Elbows grazing those ribs, coming all the way to belly. top of the toes, yogi's choice, low, medium, or high cobra. Inhale, breath, 0, 20, 40% of your weight. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips high and back. Downward facing dog. Here's our 5 breaths here. Finding the power in this resting posture. Finding the power in this active posture. It's an active resting pose. So we feel that control, we feel the strength, but we are supported hands and feet on the mat, all 4 corners connected with the earth. Finding this opportunity to check in with that intention, what it was you needed. And then as always, it's your shape, your body, your practice. Child's pose is calling, tabletop is calling, wherever you're gonna pull your power from for the rest of class. Take this time to go there, to find it. On your next inhale, meet me back in down dog. Use that exhale to soften that heart. We're gonna dance it out just like we opened, just like we practiced in this midline, with a little variation, a little change coming up right in the middle, a little bit more opportunity for power. Inhale that right leg high towards the sky. Exhale, use your whole breath. Use that entire exhale to pull that foot through. Step it through right in between those hands. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up and open. Exhale, land in your warrior 2. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. We're only here for a beat, so find that stance. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. 6 and 12 o'clock. Opportunity for that prop. Letting your hands rotate up and open. 1 breath here. Inhale, reach that crown forward. Exhale, find that little baby twist. Inhale, that top hand pulls you tall. 5-pointed star. Exhale, sit it low, horse pose. 1 breath here. Crown of your head reaches tall. Exhale, sit it low. Inhale, 5-pointed star. Here comes the change. Exhale, sit it low, warrior 2. Finding that prop, finding that block. Inhale, starting off with this extended side. Hands at 6 and 12. That front knee is nice and bent. You can stay here. If this is your power, find your power here. If not, gently hop, or if you want to try, I should say, hop that back foot in, reaching that right hand forward, and then inhale, opening it up into our half moon pose. Hips are stacked on top of each other. That right hand is pressing into a block or into your prop, or if you are able to reach for the ground, you can find your ground here. You can let that back foot reach back, keeping that nice little baby back bend. And now find that elongation through our side bodies. We're not crunching into that right side. Our shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked, toes are reaching away, fingertips are reaching high. 1 more big breath here. Let that crown reach forward. And then exhale, bend into that right knee. Soft landing, warrior 2. Awesome. Inhale, straighten through that front leg, reverse triangle. Exhale, cartwheel it towards the top of your mat. Inhale, step it back, plank pose. Exhale, with control, through knees or through plank, all the way to belly. Yogi's choice. Inhale, cobra variation. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, press it up through plank or tabletop. Hips travel high and back into our downward facing dog. Big cultivating breath here. 1 breath in the middle. Inhale those hips high. Exhale, heart melts. Inhale that left leg towards the sky. Breathe it tall. Use your entire exhale breath with control, pulling that knee through midline. Look at that space between your thumbs. Step it through. Back heel gets heavy. Inhale, cartwheel it up. Use your exhale, land in that warrior 2. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. Exhale, reach it forward. Reach, 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 either for the prop or for the ground, finding that beautiful triangle pose. One breath here. Inhale, crown reaches forward, open up through that heart. Exhale, find that twist. Inhale, top hand pulls you high. Reach it tall, 5-pointed star. Toes reach out. Exhale, sit it low. Horse pose. One breath here. Crown reaches tall, stack those shoulders over hips. Find your depth. Last horse of the class, sit it low. Inhale, reverse it tall, 5-pointed star. Exhale, sit it low into that front knee. Reaching through that extended side to start. Finding those hands at 6 and 12. Elbow presses into knee, knee into elbow. Hand can come to the block or to the floor. Reach that right hand up. And then staying here, if this is your power, this is where you are, this feels good. If you would like to test your balance, hop that back foot in a little bit, reach that left hand forward, using your prop or reaching for the ground, whichever one is available. Finding a drishti point about 3 feet in front of you, and then find this expansion, letting those side bodies feel nice and long. Reaching that crown nice and tall, that left hand pressing into the earth, the right hand reaching high, letting those toes reach away, crown reaches forward. 2 more big breaths here, feeling those shoulders stacked on top of each other, hips reaching, stacked on top of each other. Everything is reaching away from each other in space. 1 more big breath. Bend into that left knee, soft landing, warrior 2. Yes, beautiful job. Inhale, straighten through that front leg. Reverse that triangle. Exhale, cartwheel it towards the top of your mat. Little change coming up here. Back heel kicks up. Inhale, step it back into that plank pose. Drop those knees down into our tabletop. And then sit those hips back into our closed knee child pose. Let that head reach towards the earth. Fingertips are staying active here still, just to feel that little bit of release through our shoulders. Now breathe into that back of our heart space. As you exhale, soften through something. Soften through your judgments. Soften through the space that we just entered. So half moon pose, the pose that we were just in, if you chose to take it, and extended sides are both really big, open, expansion, extending poses. And they can bring up a lot of emotions. They can bring up a lot of judgments. They can bring up a lot of energy. So check in here. Make sure that energy is serving you. Making sure that what you are experiencing right now is pride, is joy, is fulfillment. Because even if it was wiggly wobbly, you fell out, you had to move back, or maybe we're meeting you in child's pose and that's where you were this whole time. That's beautiful. And that's perfect. And you should be so proud of this shape that we get to embody, this breath we get to breathe, these muscles we get to use, and allowing yourself to find this connection right here and right now. 1 more big breath. You can soften through those arms, soften through that head. Let yourself just totally collapse over your knees and take a really big, sweet breath into your space. Maybe even let yourself smile, feeling the enjoyment, feeling the success here. Inhale breath, roll it forward, finding your way into our tabletop. Last opportunity to be splashy, to find some wiggle wobbles, especially if you might have been experiencing some of those more negative connotations. Allow yourself to just feel really sweet here and now, allowing yourself to just feel the love for your shape and what you are able to accomplish. Meeting back in that strong, stable tabletop, crossing over those ankles or sweeping the knees out to the side, gently roll over, finding our way onto our seats. Sitting nice and tall, reaching that crown forward and up for the last time of class even energetically pulling that heart up through our shoulders, feeling that nice elongation space through our side bodies. And then as you exhale, gently roll down vertebrae by vertebrae, making your way all the way onto our mat. Once you're there, pull those knees into space. Give yourself a tight squeeze here, rocking gently side to side. Same exact posture as that closed knee child's pose or that little seed pose we were just in. But now we just have a different vantage point, a different viewpoint, a different opportunity to massage through that low spine, to really press down into the earth, to feel that balancing core, that back side of our core girdle totally supported by the earth here. This genuinely is the complete opposite motion of that half moon pose. No balancing, no prescription. You don't have to have a drishti point. You can let your eyes close and just send yourself a smile. Let it feel good. Let it feel nice and connected. Then reaching up towards the inner edge of your feet, pinkies right next to your big toes. And then press that low spine down into the earth while your knees move towards your armpits. If this is uncomfortable on your shoulders or on your elbows, you can reach towards the outer edge of your feet. Whichever variation is where you are tonight, whichever variation feels right for your shape. And then continue that gentle little rock. Maybe even make it a little bit bigger, kicking into that right foot, deep bend into the left. And then kicking into that left, deep bend into that right. Whichever variation you need to find your happy baby. Maybe extending through both legs, as long as you can keep that low spine connected with the earth and not kick any of your furniture in your space. Finding some nice big breaths. Finding this full connection. Just finding balance here, finding each side getting the same amount of love. Once you feel balance, pull those knees back in towards midline, and then hang on to that right knee while that left leg feels nice and heavy. Squeeze that right knee up and in, really finding that connection here. We're finding the strength, keeping that elongation through our side bodies here, even as we're moving into our cool down, into our lunar stage of this practice. So keeping that nice elongation as we pull up and in, giving that nice right side of our body, getting ready for dinner, maybe massaging that digestive tract. And then on an exhale breath, let that left hand guide that right knee up and over towards that left hand side. Shoulders should stay nice and heavy on the earth, letting your shoulder open up. That right hand can fall out to a T, out to a goalpost, anywhere in between. And now this beautiful elongation that we've created on the right side of our bodies, getting to soak up this beautiful little twist. You can let your gaze go fuzzy, or maybe even take your eyes closed. Letting that left hand just be a guide. We're not pressing into our knee. We're not forcing ourselves into any shape here. We're just letting that elongated side body enjoy this twist. We're letting this heart space open up, enjoying the class, the practice, the movement, the breath we were able to just enjoy. And now finding that third eye center, allowing our mind to begin to soak up all of the goods, all of the goodies we've given to it throughout this practice. One more big breath here. Elongate on that inhale, soften on that exhale. Next inhale breath, gently pull that right knee back through midline. Give it one more squeeze to itself, pulling it up and in, and then swap it out with the left. Let that right leg go nice and heavy. Left knee comes up and in. Now take the same amount of time, the same amount of setup here, really squeezing into that left side body, the opposite side of our digestive system. Again, feeling that nice low belly massage allowing that strength to pull that knee up and in towards that armpit, moving it out of the way of your ribs, feeling the space as we inhale, that nice elongated side body, and then that right hand guides that left knee up and over, gently making your way into the opposite twist. Gaze falls towards the left, letting your hand find either that goalpost or that T or anywhere in between, making sure both shoulders are still resting on the earth. And then again, find that nice soft gaze, those eyes closed, and allowing yourself to just find your breath here. Finding it, riding it like a wave, keeping that nice connection with our mind and our body here as we find this opportunity to go a little bit deeper into our twist, a little bit deeper into our space. One more big breath on this side. Soft exhale, go to your depth. Next inhale, gently come back through midline. Pull that left knee in towards face. Give it one more squeeze to itself. Now right leg comes up to meet left. One final squeeze here, one final seed pose. You can find gentle sways if it's calling to you, or allow yourself to find stillness. Scrunch into those toes, scrunch into those calves, engage through your shins, activate your hamstrings, activate those quads. Now feel your glutes, that low belly engaged, entire lower body is nice and contracted, nice and engaged. Contract through that belly, that chest, bringing our back and our shoulders into it, scrunching through your hands, your forearms, your biceps, your triceps. Now even bring your neck into the mix, lift your face up off the earth, scrunch your face like you just bit into your favorite candy and it just tastes so good you can't even help it. Now bring your face to kiss those knees. And then as you exhale, let it all go. Take up some space. Let those legs fall wide, away from each other. Allow those arms to fall away from yourself. Opportunity to find that beach towel or that blanket, to drape it across your belly or maybe across your chest for a little bit more warmth, a little bit more grounding energy. And then let those hands fall away from each other, away from the body. And now energetically release all the tension through your muscles. Calves and shins are soft. Hamstrings and quads are totally supported by the earth. Glutes are nice and soft. Belly is soft. Back and shoulders are totally supported. Release any shape you're holding in your fingers. Let those forearms, those upper arms feel totally supported as well. Check in with your neck, your face, your jaw. Make sure you're not pressing your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And then finally, releasing through that third eye center, letting your muscles feel heavier than the earth below it, and your bones feel lighter than the air surrounding us. Float off into Shavasana. Begin to bring some awareness back into your space, back into the room, and back onto your mat. Continue to bring that awareness into your mind, into your breath, and all the way into your body. Find that awareness wiggling your toes, tickling your fingers with your thumb, and beginning to reawaken this shape. On your inhale breath, let those hands reach up overhead, toes reach forward, finding a nice, big, deep belly stretch. Honor your shape, honor yourself, honor what it is you need. If you need a little bit more energy this evening, roll over onto your right-hand side. If you want to go lunar, go internal, finding a little bit more space for self. Gently roll over onto your left-hand side, pulling knees in towards chest, allowing that bicep to act as a pillow, and giving yourself this final posture, this final shape. These last few moments of class to truly honor your intention, to honor your space, and to really honestly and truly honor this beautiful, beautiful time we've been able to share together. Keeping your eyes closed, your gaze soft on an inhale breath, gently press up into a comfortable seated position, letting your legs come to crisscross, hands come to heart center, press those thumbs into chest, drop the chin towards chest. Thanking self, truly, honestly, and purely, for giving yourself this hour to move and breathe and to just be here, be on your mat, giving yourself this hour. On an inhale breath, bring those hands to third eye center, lift the chin slightly in a sign of appreciation and awareness of the energy and effort we were able to share. Please know that the inner teacher and light within me so recognizes and so honors the inner teacher and light within each of you. And one way to say this is to bow our heads and say, Namaste. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I really appreciate you sharing your Wednesday nights with me. As always, if there's anything that I can clarify or help or support with in any way, shape, or form, I'm always available. You can email me, you can put it in the chat, whatever it is. I am here to honor you. And I hope to see you again on Saturday or even next week. And I hope you have a really beautiful, wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much. Have a great night, guys.